morning, everybody, whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world. This is Coast to Coast. What's up, man? How you doing?
Good morning. Doing good. Doing great.
Yeah, missed you last week. What you been up to?
You know what? I had a work graduation that I flew to Indiana for. Loved it. It was amazing and great weather. Great, better weather than Phoenix, Arizona, where it is currently 175 degrees outside right now. So yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
we're gonna cool it down this weekend. We will only melt steel.
That's right. Yep. Cooking eggs on the sidewalk, and yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, not fortunately, that's where I love Seattle area, right? Is our summer times are amazing. You're generally about 75, 80 degrees. Everything's green. Like it's generally pretty awesome. Now, your winters are where we want to come visit you because it's 40 and raining, and every movie you've ever seen about Seattle happens in like November.
Right. Very gloomy, very dark. Yeah. No, there's a good 6-7 months in Arizona where Phoenix that it's pretty amazing. But no, there's about 2 months out of the year where stay inside your house.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah, well, and it's funny because you wanted to talk about some Arizona sports to the Philly guy, and of course he's not here today. I think he's just ducking you.
He's absolutely ducking me. I absolutely love the way the D-backs are playing lately, especially the last 10 or 15 games since the All-Star break. It's been amazing to watch. The Erod game yesterday was absolutely nailed. He goes 8. Brandon Garcia comes in, closes it out. We win 3-0. We have to have that series against the Pirates, and now we tied it up against the Phillies. The Phillies, man, we have their number. We beat them. We have the series win, I believe, 2-1. We beat them in April at Citizens Bank Park. In April, we play them again, I believe, late August here in Arizona. I cannot wait. But, man, nothing makes an Arizona fan happier than beating Philadelphia. So it is awesome. Their payroll, I believe their payroll is $7 zillion. It's right below the Mets and the Dodgers. And our payroll is about $100 million less. So, it's awesome. I think I've documented. It's very well documented how frustrating it is to be a Arizona sports fan. But again, you have these victories here and there, and these little, wins. That makes it worth it.
When you guys won your ring, it looked similar.
Yeah,
you got hot at the end.
Yeah,
so
2001, absolutely. You know what? And you go back to all these years, 2023, when we go to the World Series, we got hot at the right time, didn't have the best record squeaking in. Then we beat these teams. I believe in the National League Championship game, we beat the Philadelphia Phillies. Wow, that was amazing. You go back to 2008, right? The Cardinals squeezed into the Super Bowl. Not very good. I believe Chris Collinsworth called us the worst football team to make the playoffs he's ever seen. I don't know if he's right or wrong, but I don't know. Okay,
I don't know about all that. Remember the Giants years that they won, they were not great entering the playoffs. Like they were wild card teams that looked pretty terrible, honestly.
And they beat the 18-0 Patriots, right? But in 2008, we go to the Super Bowl, and in the championship game, we beat who was that? Oh, that's right, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Anytime you can steal a win from them is huge. We're kind of fading back in our division, but this is when we do that every year. So I'll be curious to see if they actually try and make a move before the trade deadline, especially because that's coming up quick. So, I hope they do, but at the same time, I don't know that this is a good enough team for it to matter, but they're not bad enough to be sellers either. Right. And so this is going to be that we have this lull. We'll start to kind of figure it out. It'll be too little too late. you might sneak in as a wild card, or you'll miss altogether. In fact, I take that back. From this division, only the division winner will go. So you either win the division or you miss the playoffs. That's sadly how the West is going this year.
Yeah.
And yeah, Houston's heating up. The Rangers are doing work. Mariners are
made a trade yesterday.
Thinking about Cabo.
Yeah. You know, and a lot of teams fall in that middle category, right? That you're talking about, not good enough, not bad enough to make a trade, make a move, and I think we fall in that category too. And you know, our ownership, I don't think is going to necessarily make a move that's going to make our fans very upset. But we're about $6-7 million above that threshold, or we're not going to have to go into that second tier apron and pay that luxury tax. But you know, I really don't think we're going to make a big move. But our fans want it, the players want it. As a matter of fact, we just played LA in LA. Big statement, 4-game series in LA, and we won every game. We beat them 4-0, all 4 games, won each game. And it was like, and they came out and they said that was a statement to our ownership. Buy. We're ready. We want to do it. And
So
you know, I don't think it's going to happen though.
If you were to make a move at the trade deadline, what is it you would be looking for Arizona?
First base and a big bat.
Yeah.
I mean, we need a first baseman and a left-hand, preferably a lefty, somebody who bats left-handed, and a power bat, you know. But I think we're going to roll the pieces that we got. We got some people coming back, you know, Martinez, Burns, you know, we got some pitching and hitting coming back. And you know, I think we're gonna roll with that. But you know, it's baseball. It's fun. I love baseball almost as much as I love football, and everybody knows how passionate I am about football. But you know, baseball, man, how do you not fall in love with baseball?
Well, you know, it's funny. It makes me think of the quote from A League of Their Own. There's no crying in baseball unless you're a Mariners fan, and then
Yeah,
then
or
there's a little
D-backs
crying in
fan.
baseball.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
that being said, the NFL gets underway. We
Right
are
around the
finally
corner.
back. Let's go.
Brother,
There's
we're a
always-
week away from the Cardinals playing a preseason game.
Well, that's right. You got the Hall of Fame game.
That's right. Yes, sir.
I forgot you guys have the Hall of Fame game this year.
Our
That's
Larry
always fun.
Fitzgerald is going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Who's more deserving than Larry Fitzgerald?
For sure. And he's such an easy guy to vote for too. Super nice human. So not only did he have an outstanding career, but you don't feel bad about putting him in, you know, because some of these guys miss their first time through because they were perceived as a jerk.
Right.
And you know, T.O. always comes to mind, right? Like statistically, there was no reason for him to not be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Absolutely. Look at the talent on the field. I mean, that's a no-brainer.
I mean, he played a Super Bowl with a broken leg. Like, I mean, I don't know how much more you wanted him to do.
Right.
But because he was perceived by the media as a jerk, and the media's who vote you in.
Yeah.
Like, it just, you know, those types of things are going to happen. That will not be the case for Larry. Widely regarded as one of the nicest guys in the league when he was around. So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he'll be. That's a no-brainer. You did get a quarterback. He did sign.
You know what? We did. You know, so now we do not have the quarterback issues that the Atlanta Falcons currently have right now. So,
yeah.
You know, no, I'm happy for it. You know, I was all for Jacoby getting paid a little bit. I mean, he came in, or you know, he was playing the second year of his 2-year deal, and he was making less than Gardner Minshew. So I get it. I understand. You know, get your money while you can. He's not the future. He's not, going to be QB1 next year. So there had to be an understanding, a compromise there, and they came to a compromise. He's at camp. He's playing. So I think both parties, everybody's happy. But Bo,
I actually thought they were going to let him go.
I didn't, because you have to have a quarterback in the room that knows what he's doing, right? Carson Beck, listen, Beck
knows what he's doing. He's not great at it, but he knows what he's doing.
How do you sell to your fan base Minshew's going to be our QB1 going into the season? I mean, really?
No, you're not. You're hyping the fact
that's a tough sell.
Well, you wouldn't be hyping that he's your QB1. You'd be hyping that you have Carson Beck on getting ready to go, right?
And that blows nobody's hair back. That gets nobody excited. I don't even think that gets Carson Beck's family excited. So
does Brissett get you excited?
Right now? No, it doesn't. But no, but you know what it does is it gives LaFleur and company, it gives them excitement to know, hey, listen, we have a veteran QB that knows how to run the system, knows how to run the game. In-house, under center, running our offense.
I mean, that quarterback room is like overnight oats. It's going to be cold and lumpy, and just because you threw some raisins in it doesn't mean it's going to be good.
Hey, you're exactly right. It is going to take some time, but you know what, Bo? I want to listen. Vegas is very down on us, and for a good reason, right? We're the Arizona Cardinals, right? Yeah. I understand that. We're the laughing stock of America.
You're not as bad as they're saying.
Brother, look at our offense. We got Jeremiah Love. I don't know if you've seen any clips, but listen, I know they're practicing in pajamas. I get it. Everybody practices in pajamas right now.
Yeah.
But I've watched football for a minute. I've been around. I'm pretty old, okay? And I'm just, the way that he looks, the way that he moves. He ran a route. I think it was yesterday that I saw a clip. He ran a route, kind of ran the wrong route. He jumped for his cut. You shouldn't jump for a cut. And he beat this linebacker so bad that I'm like, wow, that's going to be there all year long. You got Jeremiah Love. You got Tyler Algier. Tyler snaked a lot of goal line touchdowns away from Bijan last year. Mm-hmm. No one's happier, more happy that Tyler Algier is gone and out of Atlanta than Bijan Robinson. Bijan is on cloud nine because now he's going to get more looks in the red zone. Right, so we got Tyler Algier, we got James Conner. Everybody forgets about James Conner. Arizona Cardinal fans have not. We love James Conner, his toughness, his grittiness, his willingness to run between the tackles, outside the tackles. He does not go down. Okay, Trey McBride, pretty good tight end.
Yeah, I mean, none of it is your weapons. Like
Marvin Harrison Jr., Michael Wilson. Those are pretty. I'm not saying they're top 10. Okay, but that's a pretty good wide receiver group.
So I like your weapons overall. Your offensive line is what I worry about.
I worry about the right side of our offensive line, and specifically our right tackle.
Yeah.
You know what? And Isaiah Adams. You know what? Listen, and people talk about the Jeremiah Love acquisition. They talk about the Genty experience all over again. One, our offensive line is not as bad as the Oakland Raiders. Number one. Number two, why are we acting like our offensive line can't get better?
It's not that they can't. It's just that you are looking at it as what you have right now. Right? Like
exactly. We're looking at it as what we have July 29th, right?
Correct.
Whatever, July 28th. Didn't the Rams offensive line get better when they got Whitworth?
For sure. No, and that's the thing is like there's opportunity for things
to add pieces. Yes,
for sure.
We can add a right tackle, and all of a sudden our offensive line looks pretty good. Listen, we don't got to be top 5. We just got to be top half, right?
Yeah. Well, and I I don't think you're there yet. Like, I don't think that offensive line, if you were playing today, would be top half. I think you'd probably be the 25th offensive line right now.
I would say we would be probably between 15 and 20, correct.
So yeah, even that's a little higher than I would think if they played today. But it's that being said, that you do have a lot of weapons, and that's why I'm not buying. Vegas has you at 4.5, right?
Yeah,
I believe that's the
I'm going to smash that over. Yeah,
I would take that over for sure. I would expect you guys to be a 6 or 7 win team. Like, I don't think you're going to be great, right? Like, there's definite deficiencies. Who knows what Hackett's going to do? Like, he finds ways to bury even good teams. So, I'm not a fan of him as a coach. So,
well, he's not going to be calling plays. And when Aaron Rodgers won the MVP, who was the offensive coordinator?
Yeah,
Nathaniel Hackett.
To be fair, that was Aaron Rodgers, and
I'm not saying we have an Aaron Rodgers. I mean, some people think he's the greatest thrower of the football on the planet, which I've been saying forever. I think Aaron Rodgers is absolutely phenomenal. We don't have an Aaron Rodgers on our roster or any roster, but
and what my point there is he can add some icing to a cake that doesn't look very good.
Right.
Right. You don't have that guy in the room. So
no.
And everywhere else he's gone has been a disaster. So I'll be curious to see what he can do. Hopefully he turns it around for you guys. That being said, even if you guys look great comparatively over the last couple of years, you're not doing anything in this division this year. So then the question becomes, do you think Beck is your guy, or are you trying to get one of those QBs next year?
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't matter what anybody says right now in July or August. Doesn't matter what anybody, sees or thinks, right? It's what we see in the regular season. I mean, he's got to come out and do it. And that's going to be probably, I don't know, week 8 or later, right? That we're going to see Carson Beck. So I like what I see in preseason. Again, we're in pajamas. No one's hitting anybody. So
so that's where the offensive line comes into question, right? Is when you watched him in college, big kid, right? So you went for the polar opposite of your Kyler experience, right? I mean, he's 6'5" and like 230 or something. Like, he's a big dude. And then
233. Oh,
okay, there we go. So, and then he made good decisions with good protection. Yeah. So that's going to be the question. If your offensive line looks week 8 like it does today, how much success does he have? Because when he was under duress in college, and let's be honest, everybody in the NFL is going to be better than any college team he saw.
Right.
Is his decision making going to break down the same way? That's going to be the real question. You're not going to know until he's put in that position.
Right. Well, I don't disagree necessarily on that take. One of my favorite quarterbacks of all time happens to be an ex-Cardinal quarterback. Warner once said, the greatest trait a quarterback could have is his decision making, right? It's not talent, It's not arm talent, it's not running pad, whatever. Yep. It's decision making. And I've never seen anybody better pre or post snap read throwing the ball than Kurt Warner. Okay. And I think if Drew can get that, if he can stay in that film room and study defenses and learn, hey, listen, my pre and post snap reads and where to throw the ball, he has all the intangibles. He has the size, he has the balance, he has the vision. Yeah. He's just going to have to learn where to throw that football. And I kind of think that's where Kyler went a little bit awry. I think the talent was there. I will always be a Kyler fan. I will always stand on that hill for him.
Yeah.
And fight for him. I think he's going to do amazing in Minnesota. I really do. I look for them to win that division. But I think that's kind of where he went awry. Was he didn't study as much as he needed to. And his pre and post snap reads were just not necessarily there. He stood at the podium when he signed his big contract, and he said, I think it's kind of flattering you guys think that I got here
Yeah.
without studying, and
Yeah.
right then I remember watching the press conference, and thinking, yeah, I do
Right.
think that. I do think that you got there because you're that talented and you don't study as much as you should. Imagine if you did study as much as Kurt Warner. Oh my gosh.
For sure.
You'd be another, Russell Wilson. So
that's why I always like the try hard guys over the ones that have elite talent.
Yeah.
Like, give me a guy that is available and
give me a Drew
outworks.
Brees. Give me it. Yeah.
Exactly.
And yeah, again, I think, and that's where Brissett comes in. He tries hard. He knows what he's doing. He studies. The guys like him, they see how hard he's trying, and so I think it's important to have a guy like that in the room. It's important to have a guy like that on the team, and we'll see. But yeah, I'm definitely smashing that over on the 4.5. I don't think we're gonna win the division.
That's a safe bet. Yeah.
The Rams might go undefeated for the next 2 years.
Man, that's a scary team, especially if they get Aaron Donald back.
Aaron Donald, yeah. Which I don't know why he wouldn't come back.
Yeah, I mean, you're basically just ring chasing at this point. And then they do have enough if they really wanted to mess the league up and go grab Vita Vea for a year.
Sure, why not?
Absolutely. Just go the Dodgers route and grab every star player available. I mean, but they could do it. That's the thing, is they could do it. And you're not going to have to give up anything to go get Vita Vea. Now, I don't think they do that, but you wouldn't really have to give up much because he wants out. It's his final year. Tampa looks like they're probably on the precipice of rebuilding anyway. So do you give up a third rounder for a 31-year-old Vita and, know that you only have him this year just to go win that ring? Maybe. I mean, he's only going to make 17.
Yeah, there's always that conversation, right? Do you go all in for a ring or do you go, the Moneyball route, right?
I mean, and the Rams did it before, right? Like that's how they won their last ring. Is they're just like, hey, we're gonna give away every draft pick, spend all the money, and it worked. So that's the key, right? Is it worked?
It's gotta work, yeah. Because sometimes, again, the Eagles did it. Was it in the late maybe 2000s? Remember that defense was absolutely lights out, and they did nothing.
Well, and the Saints,
it's got to work. Yeah,
the Saints just did it, right? Like they're finally starting to recover from their attempt at it, and they did absolutely nothing with it.
Yeah.
So it's only dumb if it doesn't work.
That's right. That's right. So, and fans, we can make fun of it, but listen, if it brings you a ring, it's worth it. Jerry Colangelo did that in 2001 with the Arizona Diamondbacks. With Randy Johnson and Kurt Schilling and all the star power that we had on our team. And, it bankrupted us for the next decade. But you know what? It was worth it.
Yeah.
I was at Game 7. I remember crying. I remember partying in the streets.
I mean, they can't take the ring away. So even if you're bad afterwards, you got that ring. You can hang that banner all the time because you can say you've won a ring. My Mariners, we may be in the top 10 of attendance every year, but we can't tell you that we've won a pennant or a ring.
That's right.
We can tell you we sell more hot dogs than anybody, but can't get the big game done. So it's that's what I enjoyed about Paul Allen buying the Seahawks. He had a commitment to winning. So
speaking of Seattle, how do you like your team this year? I see 3 teams coming out of the West in the playoffs. I think the Rams, Seattle, and the 49ers in that order make the playoffs. But how do you like the Seahawks? I see you guys battling it out with the Rams for our division title. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you're going to see something very similar to what we saw last year. I
Yeah.
think we all take a win total step back, right? Because we had 14 wins last year. I would say our division winner probably has 12 this year. We do have a tougher schedule than a year ago. So I think there's I think your division winner is probably a 12-win team, but I still think you send 3, barring, major injuries or whatever.
Yeah, I really don't see, well, I don't see the Rams winning 12 games. I see the Rams winning somehow in the regular season. I see them winning 18 games, even though they play 17. I think somehow the Rams are going to figure out a way to win 18 games, but no,
Right.
I think it's going to be interesting, and that's the difficult thing. I think even if we come out and we play way over our skis and win 7 games, it's like, well, the Niners and the Seahawks and the Rams
Yeah.
doubled us, so it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough season, but
Yeah, if you guys were in the South, the 7 wins could get you there. You could be in the
right.
playoffs. Yeah. No, it's yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter what you guys do this year. You're just not going to be able to get out of this division. But I mean, being in this division this year basically cooks in 6 losses to your schedule. I don't think you're quite good enough. You might steal one against San Fran, especially because they're just hurt every year. But I don't think you guys square up well enough against the defense that we have here in Seattle or the juggernaut that the Rams have put together. I think that's 4 losses. You might split with the Niners, but I mean, again, this is an Arizona team that's building to the future. It's not building to win today.
I agree. Talk about that Seahawks running back room. I mean, I keep hearing about Price and Holani, and what do you think?
So Price is easily the guy I'm looking at the most in our camp. And the reason for that, obviously, Kenneth Walker moves on. He's in KC. But he was losing his running back 1 position anyway, right? Charbonnet, well, to Charbonnet, right? So he was losing his running back 1 duties during the season. Then Charbonnet got hurt and he got, he basically retained it and then had a great run through the playoffs. That being said, we pick up Price, who was not the best running back on his team, right? You guys got him. And so there's a little bit of a worry there. It's like, okay, he couldn't win the running back position on his own team. He did still have a great year. Not saying that. Still a dynamic runner, actually probably a better pass catcher than Kenneth Walker. But he thrived in a running back by committee room. And he's going to start the season having to be the guy. Right. So I want to see during camp and preseason that he's ready to be the guy, because Charbonnet doesn't come back until week 4 or week 6, something like that. So he's going to have to really carry that load. And we're going to have to see if he's capable of doing that. Now, obviously, if you're a Seahawks fan, you hope he is, but you don't know. Like, there's plenty of guys that come out of college that just, the speed just isn't quite there for him. Right. Especially right away. So will he be able to carry the load for the first, 4 to 6 weeks until Charbonnet is back? And then it goes back to a situation that he's used to and thrives in, because Charbonnet would return to being the number 1 guy. Or does he absolutely show out and then they move on from Charbonnet at the end of the season too?
Right. Yeah.
Because we don't pay running backs.
No, you don't. And I really like Kenneth Walker. I think I was a little higher on Kenneth Walker than you were. I just thought, man, with the ball in his hands, he just looked a little bit different. When he was healthy, I was going to say when he was healthy, and he wasn't healthy a lot. But when he was healthy and everything was going right, man, it was special to watch him run the ball. Not a great pass catching back. But again, with the ball in his hands, 100% healthy, it was a pleasure watching him run the ball. And I think, again, when healthy, Kansas City's going to get that back. But
well, I mean, and unfortunately, Seattle's just had that, right? Outside of
Marshawn Lynch,
not last year, but the year before, we haven't had a starting running back not land on IR since Marshawn Lynch in 14. So it's been a while, you know. And I mean, sadly, we've had good talent. Like when you think of when they drafted Rawls, when he was healthy, you're just like, man, this guy could be a different runner and just could never stay on the field.
Yeah.
Kenneth Walker, similarly, like he was going to be dynamic for 8 games. You just didn't get to choose which 8.
Right.
So hoping that, you know, and of course, Charbonnet, similarly, like he's getting hurt. So can Price be a healthy back that's available? I mean, I'll take a little less talent if I can have him every game.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Durability is best quality. Yep. Absolutely. Availability.
Joe trying to will your cards to winning the division by actively cursing the other 3 teams.
Joe, I will go in half with you. I will send you money and we can go in half and definitely do it. Yep. We will have the Cardinals win this division.
And you can do it on the show right here by using the QR code on the screen. Up to 125% of your first 3 deposits, 10% bet guarantee. Bet alongside us. Bet us here on Coast to Coast.
Yeah, I'm with you, Joe. Listen, it's going to be a tough season. I've been a season ticket holder for 2021. Oh man, I don't know. It's been forever, painstaking years, but you know, so it's going to be another tough one. But I really think we're gonna win some games that we shouldn't win. That's every year, though, right? You win some games you shouldn't. You lose some games you shouldn't, like the Tennessee Titans game last year. That was a touchdown. But anyway,
I mean, there's definitely teams that I can say that about. Arizona's one of them. The Raiders will be one of them. The Giants will be one of those.
Absolutely.
They're going to be interesting. They're not going to do anything, but they're going to be interesting. No. And I believe your team is going to be that. Just because you're individually around the field, you're going to have moments where you're like, okay, like I can see kind of what it is we're trying to do here. One guy I want to see take a big step forward on your roster is Marvin Harrison Jr. Like there's so much talent there.
You're speaking for the entire fan base right now. Go ahead, Bo.
Well, I think where it's frustrating is because he has so much talent, right? Like his dad wishes he had his kid's frame, right?
Oh, man.
That, like, talk about a next level, like,
especially crazy. This season. Yeah.
So then you watch the way he runs routes and you're just like, that is the laziest looking route. Rather than being crisp out of cuts, it's kind of rounding it off. Now, as a DB, I loved a guy that ran a route that way, right? Because you're like, oh, I don't have to try and make up any. You're not creating space.
Right.
You round it out. I know where you're going. If you make a crisp, like I have to concede 1.5 yards because you know where you're going and I don't.
Right.
You know,
absolutely.
So when you watch him round out, and then of course the pass is being thrown like it's going to be a crisp route. So the pass looks like it's underthrown. He's out of position. If you're a DB, you're like, I'm all over him all day. I don't know if it's just a lack of concentration or I don't know what the answer is there, but it just, man, you got to see him make that step forward. Otherwise, it ended up being a bad draft pick, even though on paper he should be killing it.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was a bad draft pick. I think it's up to now it's bad coaching, right? We're not coaching him the right way. He needs to, get in that butt. Hey, listen, run the route the right way. I coach 10U boys. I coach 11U girls, and I coach that. If we're doing a 5-yard out, if we're doing a 10-yard out, we're making it a 10-yard out, 10 yards and out. We're not rounding it. And these are 10 and 11-year-olds. Okay. So definitely they can do that at the NFL level, but you're right. His frame, and that's what we all have fallen in love with, is just what can be, right? Yeah. And unfortunately, we live in this echo chamber and this world where social media puts every single drop he makes in training camp online, and just exacerbates it. And it's like, listen, everybody drops balls. It's not a big deal, but I think it gets in his head. And I think it messes with his
Yeah.
confidence. And he reads it and he sees it and it just kind of perpetuates itself. And he is a negative guy by nature. And he says it. You ask him, listen to any press conference. He said it the other day. He listens to the negativity.
He
All
does.
he sees is negative.
Yeah.
And he meant that in a positive way, I think. Like, because I'm kind of like that when I get feedback from my boss at work. I want to work on the negatives, not necessarily the positives, right? So I kind of got
Mhm.
what he was saying, but at the
Yeah.
same time, you, I kind of got the sense that these last 3 years of 2+ years have kind of been wearing on him mentally.
Yeah.
With the fan base, the media, where everybody's just getting on him.
Well,
So
losing does do that,
yeah,
like it
he
it, it,
he
it
he
grates
wasn't
on you.
used to that Ohio State.
Exactly.
You got to get used to that coming to the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, it's I get, responding better to the negativity. I responded better to coaching like that, right? When
Yeah,
it was like, what are you doing?
yeah,
As
I did
opposed to that
too.
was great. I don't know, for being in the heat of the moment, I responded better to the first. Now, if that's the only feedback you're getting, that's rough, but
Right.
so that's where I don't know. I think this is the year you would need to see a step forward. At the same time, do you have the quarterback in the room that can help him get there? Because I mean, he can't create that opportunity on his own. He can give you a window, but if your guy isn't hitting the window, what do you do, right?
Yeah, and fortunately for him, he doesn't have to be that guy, right? Because we have
Yeah,
other people in the room, we have other people on the field that can
sure.
step up and make plays. Whether it be our running backs, our tight end, or even Michael Wilson, right, at the wide receiver
Mhm.
spot. Kendrick Bourne, right? He can make plays as well. So I mean,
For sure.
I like our offense. I like the way we're headed. The big question mark is Carson Beck in that defense and the right side of our offensive line. So, we'll see. We're a week away from our first preseason game. We're about 7, 8 Sundays away from regular
Yeah.
season week 1, and I can't wait. It's great because every fan in the world, every NFL fan has hope until the
Yeah.
ball's in the air, right? Until that kickoff happens, and then yeah, we'll see. So
Hmm. Okay. That's kind of cool. I mean, not a shock, right? Like alcohol and sports betting. That's basically
oh
every
wow,
sponsor. That's basically every
yeah,
sponsor of the NFL now.
there we
So,
go.
but speaking of bad looks at camp, we have Shador, and naturally we have to, since we're talking about weird quarterback situations, easy segue. Uh, so this is probably one of the funnier camp blocked passes because the defender does not move. He throws the ball directly into his hand. So watch this. He's standing in one spot, hand up.
Hey,
That,
it was over the middle. Maybe he couldn't see. Maybe he was seeing ghosts. I don't know. I don't know.
that is hilarious. Now, I mean, because it's Shador, perfect timing, yes. Um, because it's Shador, people are gonna fly off the handle one way or the other, right? They're going to be like, oh, he's trash and whatever. And then at the same time, the other guys are going to be like, it was such a good block. It was not. It was not a good block. Like literally, watch this. He stands up. He's not moving.
Puts his-
He just and he's just holding his hand up. and pow. Like, you can't even defend that one. Like, you're just like, man, that was just awful. Because he didn't even like move his hand. It was literally just in one spot. He threw it straight into the palm of his hand. It was crazy.
I coached D-line, and I would get on my defensive lineman for that play for not having any effort, not moving his feet, not playing with his hands at all. But then he deflects the pass, and it's like, how do you get on him when he deflected the pass? You know, right?
Mean, you can't. You be like, you couldn't have executed no effort better.
No, listen, I think Shedeur is going to be fine. I honestly do like Shedeur. I like his temperament. I like how he's calm. I like his demeanor, and I don't know if I necessarily like him in Cleveland. I don't know. Tell me the last quarterback that's been successful in Cleveland.
Well, that was what I was going to say.
I'll take your comments off the air.
Well, no, I mean, is there a quarterback that makes sense in Cleveland? I don't know that there is, because they have a jersey with 40 plus names on it. Some of them #1 picks.
Yeah, a lot of them #1 picks.
I mean,
some of them that are doing great with other franchises, Baker Mayfield. So
exactly.
It's tough. And, I'm a big believer of it's not necessarily the player, it's where they go in the right system. It's got to be the right GM. It's got to be the right head coach. It's got to be the right OC, and it's got to be the right player. Everything's got to click. And if it does, then we got something going, right?
Fit always matters. Right.
Very rare that you have a guy like, Stafford that can just play in any system for anybody, and he's going to throw for 7 zillion yards.
I know.
A year.
Him and Kirk Cousins for most of his career were just absolute fantasy football stat monsters, despite being on teams that couldn't win games.
Yeah. I'm actually a big fan of Kirk Cousins too. I think Kirk Cousins is another just baller. No matter where he goes, no matter what team he's on, he's just balled out. And he shops at Target. He drives a minivan.
Hey,
saving that money. Who cares? Who cares? He balls out. Tarjay, who doesn't like Tarjay, right?
Him rocking them Kohl's Cash, and it's funny. It's funny. At the same time, it's hilarious because you hear him talk about doing those things like he's made no money, right? He's just like, oh yeah, I shop the deals and whatever, and you're just like, you've made $500 million.
Bro, you were franchise tag not once but twice with the Redskins. Twice.
Yeah, that's big money on its own.
People would come and complain to me like, oh, can you believe? I'm like, really? I wish somebody would franchise tag me. That's stupid money. And he got it twice. Even back
then.
Oh my gosh.
And then his contracts since then have been fully guaranteed monsters. And you're just like, okay, man, like your agent is awesome.
People want to talk about Watson over in Cleveland getting the first fully guaranteed money. It's like, no, that was Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. His was the biggest, but Cousins has been fully guaranteed multiple times.
That's right. So, I think it was fully guaranteed Kohl's Cash he got. Yeah.
Yes.
So, yep. Hey, before we run out of time, a couple things I want to ask you and kind of get your opinion on. One, my son, he's a huge NFL fan. He's done 4 or 5 rough drafts of how everyone's going to finish in the division and what the record's going to be. He's a huge football fan. Not sure where he got it, but he came out to me the other night and he said, Dad, what do you think? This is crazy thought, but what do you think? I think the Redskins are actually going to sneak into the playoffs. And I said, son, we need to get you drug tested. He's 10. I know. Yeah. But what do you think about the Washington Commanders making the playoffs?
No, honestly, I think they finished last in their division.
That's what I thought.
Dallas made some really good moves for the defensive side of the ball, right? Of their 7 picks, 5 were on defense.
Yep.
And, so that is a huge need-filling draft, which, is great for them. There are some very real questions about the offense for the Eagles. So those are probably the two that are going to battle out to win the division, right?
Sure.
Then you look
and you got the Giants. Yeah.
And the Giants are that's
I'll tell him you said that.
That's because one of the members of Rec Room Sports, Jay, is a Commanders fan. So that might be more of a homer.
Hey, before the Cardinals came here in '88, I was a Redskins fan. Yep, with the posse, the hog line. Yep, Mark Rippon.
Yep. I mean, that was, you have to give so much credit to Gibbs to go to win 3 Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks, and I mean,
Doug Williams.
Nothing like that's been done. So, that was an amazing era for the Redskins.
That was amazing. The '88 Super Bowl was amazing. But no, I'm with you. I think Dallas, they've improved. I think they got to improve a little bit on the defense side of the ball, and that offense is a juggernaut. Philadelphia, I think they are going to have some lulls this year on offense, losing A.J. Brown. Not that A.J. Brown was the centerpiece of their offense, because I think Saquon Barkley is going to have a big bounce back year. They have a very nice piece in tight end. And Devontae Smith is.
I think they're better without A.J. Brown because you don't get any of the distraction. I just don't know that they're positioned in a way to be as good as they've been. Their offensive line isn't quite as good as it was. And you have a new OC. So who knows what that's going to look like?
Yeah. You know what? I'm not going to sleep on Philly. A.J. Brown, that talent. Listen, wide receivers have been diva since forever, right? So, I think Philadelphia is going to be Philadelphia. They're going to be there at the end of the year. And the Giants, right? They got some nice pieces coming back, right? With Cam and company. And so, no, I see the Redskins finishing last. I have the same questions for the Commanders that I had last year. Who's going to be running the ball? A guy named Bill? Yeah. I don't have a lot of faith in that wide receiver room, and that defense has really got to step up. So, I mean,
one thing, if you are a Commanders fan, you got to like this right here, because it means Ayuk is likely not coming and bringing his distraction to your team.
Evaluating guys to maybe bring in for workouts, whatever. What role, if any, does kind of a player's social media have in that evaluation process?
That's a good roundabout question.
What a badass you are. Straight badass right there.
But no, we look at everything, JP. I mean, it's a great question, but we do look at everything, and we want to make sure it's the right player to be in our locker room, in our bloodstream, and in our culture.
Antonio Brown, Brandon Ayuk is not doing himself any favors. He needs to just quietly shut up. But great segue, Joe. Cowboy fan for life. No team in the NFL that I hate more than the Dallas Cowboys. But I was in Indianapolis, Indiana last week for work, and with some workmates. We had a great heated debate with a Cowboy fan and an Eagles fan. Who's a better thrower of the football, Jalen Hurts or Dak Prescott? I said Dak because, listen, I can't stand the Cowboys. I hate them with every ounce of my being. That's the one game Jacoby Brissett won last year. We go into Dallas on Monday night and just belt a boom and kill them, right? Yeah. But Dak is nice. I feel like Dak is a phenomenal quarterback, and he's doing it. Listen, yes, he's got CD. Yes, he's got Pickens last year. But I really think Jalen Hurts has a lot more talent around him. He is a top 5 running back, top 5 wide receiver core, top 5 tight end core, top 3 offensive line. And, man, I wouldn't put Jalen Hurts. I would probably pick about 15 quarterbacks above Jalen Hurts. What do you think? Who do you think, Bo? You watched 1 or 2 football games. Who do you think's a better quarterback or maybe a better thrower of the football, Dak or Hurts?
Dak easily. Yeah.
Easily.
I mean, when you think of all the things that Philly had going for them and how many times they still had to resort to the tush push to to keep drives alive or to score or anything like that. Now it was almost automatic, and kudos to him for being able to squat 5 million pounds, but they were pulling the ball out of his hands.
Yep.
They're like, look, we want you to just fall forward to keep this thing alive rather than, a traditional play that everyone else has to run, basically. So now he's doing the things that are within his skill set, just like Lamar, be able to break off a wicked run, whatever. So I'm not mad at it, but but if you're talking about just being that quarterback, then yeah, it has to be Dak. Now, if you ask me that again and preface it by they're playing in January, then I would say Gardner Minshew is a better quarterback. But
yeah.
So there is that element of it.
I think it's Dak hands down, regardless if it's, September or December. I really think Dak makes better decisions. He's a better quarterback than Jalen. Yeah. I think Jalen, I think he has a certain skill set. I think he throws a great go route, great deep ball. And I think that's kind of where it ends. I've had this argument for a long time that you don't need a phenomenal quarterback. And Jalen proves my point. You don't need a phenomenal. You don't need a Patrick Mahomes. You don't need a Josh Allen. You don't need a
Sam Darnold. You can have a Sam Darnold who's a
need a quarterback who's good enough and they can run your offense, and that's going to win you rings.
And they protect the football.
That was my issue with Kyler Murray. I felt like Kyler Murray was good enough. I felt like Kyler Murray was, more than good enough. We just didn't put the right pieces around him. But no, I agree. Dak for sure.
Mm-hmm. And
I think that whole offense. I think the whole team needs to play better in the playoffs. Last year, I don't think you could put anything on Dak last year. I think definitely you can put all of last year on that defense.
Yeah, he played well. Yeah, the defense, the defense was awful all year. It was the worst defense in the league. And most of the time when you saw a big play, there wasn't even a defender on the screen. So that's why I really liked that they went and spent money and draft picks and everything to try and bolster the defense rather than just focusing on, best player available, let's go get this guy. Like they drafted for need, and that was great to see. So speaking of other quarterbacks, we got Burrow talking about day one fight for the Bengals, and Jamar Chase rips a helmet off and chucks it. Yeah. So here we go.
Number one sure had one today. Number 0 did too. So whatever those guys need to get excited to get better, go ahead and do it. But if you can, maybe punch somebody in the face in about 15 to 20 seconds and then get back lined up, that's probably ideal.
We just competing. That's all it is. We just competing. I always feel like the energy got to be like that. It got to be like that on both sides of the field. I hope it's a fight.
Hope there's a fight every day. Training camp is always that way, though. When you think of, in years past, there's always a lot of fights in the first, the first really week or two of training camp. And, it's generally viewed as a bad thing. And it is to some degree, but it lets you know how hard guys are fighting, because although there is a 53-man roster, most rosters have about 45 of them already figured out.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
So when you're looking at 45 to 90,
47,
right? 45, say it's even, say it's 40 to 90, right? So you have that many players trying for the last 13 positions at best, right? And so tensions are high, because it's going to be, I either make this team or I'm unemployed.
Yeah.
Because everyone else is making the same cut. So it's not like you can't go catch on with another team, but the odds are low, right?
Yeah.
So it's the fights are bound to happen. Chase making this team. Right?
I think that's a fair bet.
It's pretty good. They're paying him a lot of money.
Yeah.
but the defenders he's going against may not.
That would be a very Bengal thing to do, though, for them to cut
Chase, no doubt.
No, I agree. I mean, there's 63 spots, right? 53-man roster, and then a 10-man on the practice squad. So, I mean, yeah, they're putting this stuff on tape. They're fighting for their lives, and you're right. You see this a lot in the week and the beginning part of training camp, and then at the very end, because guys are just frustrated. They're ready to get on the field and go. So, some coaches like this. I kind of like this. I think football is a very, very physical and violent sport, unlike any other sport out there. Some coaches don't. Bruce Arians hated it. When guys fought. So I don't mind it at all in practice, training camp. I don't mind it at all. Not a big fan of it in a game. That shows lack of discipline. Can't happen. Yeah. You're costing your team 15 yards, and that's selfish. That's selfish.
And maybe
football.
getting ejected. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it can't happen in a game. Pete Carroll didn't mind that stuff, because his motto was always compete. I don't see any of that stuff happening with McDonald. Like he is much more of the we're here to work kind of guy, right? And not to say that Pete wasn't, but Pete embraced the personalities of everybody. Right. Yeah. Like he wanted you to
different head coaches. Yeah,
for sure. But he didn't mind the fights. Whereas this one, because of the way that McDonald is, I don't know that would fly. And I guess we'll find out, right? Because they're filming Hard Knocks right now. So, we might get to see it.
That's insane. It's kind of early here in Phoenix. It's about 7 a.m., but I'm about to throw up because you just mentioned Pete Carroll and then McDonald, and those are your last two head coaches, and both have won rings.
Yeah, well, and Mike Holmgren before that, we went to one, we just didn't win it.
In 2005.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, no, in the last 20 years, we've 21 years, I guess. We've been to 4-1 too, right? So
one day, right?
I mean, you guys went during that tenure.
2008. Yep. Hey, every time the game comes on the NFL Network, I turn it off at 2 minutes and 36 seconds when Larry Fitzgerald scores that touchdown, and that's all I need to see. I'm good.
Yeah, I like that they don't really show ours that often. If they're going to show one that the Seahawks are in, it's always either the Broncos, Patriots, or most recent one. They very rarely show that Steelers one, just because of how much it highlights how bad the officiating was.
Yes, absolutely. There was 2 or 3 blown off offensive pass interference. Like, no, that was not pass interference.
Yeah. No, there were some awful calls. Now that's not why they lost. Like I never put a loss at the feet of at refs, because there were 5.
I'll say it for you, Bo. That's 100% why they lost the game.
No, because Jeremy Stevens dropped 5 first down passes on third downs. Like the game was close, and like if it was a blowout because of those bad calls, fair enough. But you were in it the whole time. So if you just make some of those plays, you probably still win, because Seattle was the better team that year.
Oh, hands down.
But at the same time, they didn't execute particularly well. Now, the refs didn't help, but there was so many things that they could have cleaned up that they still could have won that game, that I don't put it at the feet of them. Now, if they got blown out because of those bad calls, then sure. Yeah. Then you're like, okay, like, come on, guys. But it was still a really close game, and they just couldn't execute in some key moments. So I don't know that it does make me one of the very few Seattle fans that doesn't think that it falls on the refs.
On the refs, yeah.
They were.
And I'm one of the few Cardinal fans that think that Santonio catch, it was a catch. He was in bounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
all right.
That being
On
said, that does get us to the
that
top
note,
of the hour. Wherever you are, however you may be listening, be sure to like and subscribe.